relationships.com off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on amazon.com. You know, if your woman doesn't submit to you, she ain't your woman. Now, I know this is going to rub a lot of people the wrong way, but if your woman is not submissive to you, I don't give a damn what nationality she is. I don't care if you live together. I don't give a damn if you're black, you're white. I don't give a damn if y'all the same nationality. I don't give a damn where you live at in the world. If your woman is not submissive to you, she ain't your woman. She belongs to the streets. She belongs to her job. She belongs to the pastor at that church she attends on every Sunday. She belongs to her friends that influence her to do dumb shit. She belongs to somebody else, but she doesn't belong to you. And I know this is hard, a harsh truth. And it's something that I had to face about 15 years ago. And it's one of the biggest problems that I had, because I used to think that you had to pander and negotiate and talk women into shit, but all that's bullshit. It really is. And a lot of women will try to run game on guys because a lot of women want guys to protect them in some type of way. If that door fly open, or if some type of danger is coming towards her, she looks, first thing she does is look at the guy that's sitting next to her. So she wants protection, but at the same time, she doesn't want to take instructions from a man. She can't stand a guy telling her what to do. You know, so you can't have it both ways. You know what I mean? Shit, there's some countries like Saudi Arabia and Dubai where women have to submit by law because those guys are in power. They run shit over there. So, you know, but living here in America, women, they pretty much do submit as they will. They just do what they feel like it. And that's the problem of living in the United States of America. Because women, if a woman does submit to you here, you don't know how long it's going to last. It could be 5 years, 10 years. But it works out well for us fellas, because if she gets out of pocket or does something that's unforgettable, you can get you another bitch. So it's all good. And by that time, in most cases, by the time she stops submitting to you, she's already up in age anyway. She's probably old. She's probably overweight. She probably doesn't look as attractive as she used to be. So sometimes it works out pretty well for some guys that I know. And I've lost friends because of like a lot of women, because they let their wives get up in their ears and tell them shit. And see, here's the deal. A woman should never have the authority to tell a guy what to do. A woman should never wear the pants in the relationship. You know, once a woman once women lead guys around, that's the beginning and the end of society as it is. You know, because women aren't supposed to play that position. They're out of line. You know, guys are born to lead. It's guys that's on the front lines. There's no women on the front lines, last I checked. But at the same time, women say, oh, I believe in equality and all that shit. Women can do just as better things as men. That's bullshit. Everyone has their position, and they supposed to play their position. But they want to go against nature And a lot of women, they just want to get treated better than white guys in American society. They just want to take over the whole goddamn thing. They want to dominate guys. That's what that's really all about. It's really all about power. It's not about rights at all. It's not about public policy at all. That's just a game that a lot of women try to play. But there's always exception to the rule. Socially, if you're with a woman and if she doesn't submit to you, she ain't your woman. She belongs to the streets. And that's just how that shit is. She doesn't belong to you. Because if she belonged to you, you wouldn't have to beg for sex or negotiate for sex. You wouldn't have to talk her into doing anything. It just is what it is. I mean, right now, if I go to North Carolina and call up women that I've been knowing for years and say, "Hey, I'm in town, where you at? I want to see you." They'll make time for me. They won't say, "Hey, I'm tired," or "I don't know if I'll be able to make it." No, they'll make time. There's no such thing as "I don't got time." That's bullshit. It really is. It took me a long time to figure this out. And I learned a lot by hanging around a lot of athletes and entertainers when I was in my 20s. And I learned a valuable lesson. They didn't have to negotiate for sex. Can you imagine Michael Jackson, Prince, a lot of these entertainers, they never had to ask for sex. Michael Jackson never had to ask for sex. You think about this for a second. He never had to ask for the pussy. I mean, could you imagine somebody like Prince? He never had to ask for the pussy. Man. So it's who you are more than anything else. So who you are is much more powerful than the doing. That's what I learned over the past. Yo! Like, share the video, and all that good stuff. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What up? What you mean no? Shit, there's no no's over here. It's hell yeah over here. That's how we roll. There's no such thing as no over here. No don't mean no forever. That's how we do over here. No is temporary. Not forever. So hey, like, share the video, and we're going to do like we always do over here. We're going to talk that talk, and we're going to go out and make it happen. That's the difference between what we do over here versus these other channels. The other channels, you're just entertained. And that's it. And you go back to being who you was before you came to that channel. You had some eye candy. Yeah, she looks good. She might even have a little bit of something to say. If it's a woman. If it's a guy, he's stroking your ego, telling you what you want to hear, talking about women all the time, what women are doing, women ain't acting right. I don't talk about women over here like that. It's a waste of time. I don't talk about what women are not doing or where things are going and talk about the data. I mean, the data is what it is. The thing I focus on, I want my next move to be the best move. I don't want to sit around thinking what the women are going to be doing before I make a move. Hell no. Every move I make ain't got nothing to do with no woman. Has to do with me and where I'm going and what I'm doing. If you sit back and think about what the woman is doing, that's going to affect your decision making. You're going to get caught up in your feelings. Hell with all that. I don't got time to think about what women. I already know what women are doing. I already know what I can kind of almost predict what most women are going to do in certain situations. When times get hard, women are going to jump on the bandwagon of the guys that's maintaining and winning. That's what most women are going to do. Regardless of what they say. That's just talk. So you should be one of those guys that they jump on the bandwagon with. You should become one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit around thinking about what they doing and what they saying online. I don't got time to be listening to all that shit. They're going to say what they're going to say. If some of these women hoes online, you better believe it. A lot of them are hoes online. Are most women hoes just in general? You better believe it. That's what it is. It ain't nothing new. It's been that way for a long time. Are most women unfit? You better believe it. That's usually how it is. The law averages. You know what I'm saying? Or, is one group of women better than the other group of women? I don't necessarily see it like that. The grass is never greener on the other side. It's just a different type of grass, like I always say. Different don't mean better. It's just a different experience on the other side. That's all. You know what I'm saying? And I understand if you haven't been anywhere and you go to a different place, especially if you go overseas somewhere and you meet some cool people and you have a good time, and that's great. But that doesn't mean that those people are better than the people that's in America just because you had a good time. I see, it's just different in that environment. That's a different environment. The people have been raised and conditioned the way they are. It's not dog eat dog and cutthroat in the majority of these places that you would visit outside of North America. In North America, we're in the belly of the beast. Other places, it's not so bad as far as, yeah, you still got hoes and cutthroat motherfuckers or whatever everywhere you go, and vicious motherfuckers and criminals. That's everywhere you go. But it's not so bad other places. It's easier. In most cases, it's easier to talk to people and meet people. Even if you don't speak their language, it's still easier to talk to other people in other parts of the world. And that's a great thing. Now in North America, it's not so easy to get to know people. It takes more time to get to know people in North America because there's too much shit going on with a lot of people. When people don't have what they need, people become very scandalous. Most people, to say that you should still somehow be a good person, regardless of your livelihood, I think that's being disingenuous and that's not logical, I would say. There's some people out here that will say, well, why is this person doing crime? Well, they're doing crime because they don't have what they need. they've been dealt a bad hand in life, and they're just trying to do the best they can with whatever they have, and they probably don't have much. Obviously, they don't have enough. You know, so that's it is what it is. But to say so, it's easy for somebody like me, or maybe somebody like you, to say, "Hey, this person should be a good person regardless of their everyday experience, how they grew up. They can't pay their bills, damn near homeless. So this person should still be a nice person regardless." I'm not going to say that. No, that's not logic. That's not logic. You know, it's hard being nice when you don't have what you need to live. It's hard being nice when you can't pay the bills, you don't have enough food. It's hard being nice for most people. Some people can push through it and not let the environment and their circumstances turn them into something else. But that takes a lot of discipline. And most people don't have a lot of discipline. So I understand when people don't have what they need, they can go left and become very scandalous and get into some whole shit. And this is why a lot of people will say money is the root to all evil. And to a certain extent, I agree with that, because I've seen people that didn't have enough money. They do some whole shit. They'll do some shit where they'll jeopardize their life in some cases. They'll go against their integrity and everything for a couple of $100. I've seen it. You know, I've seen it happen. You know, I've seen people. I've had women, men and women, tell me that, "Oh, I slept with this person. I had sex with this person, and I didn't even like them, but I did it because I needed some money." I've had people tell me this, men and women. You know, I've had men and women tell me that they were faking it in the sack with this person. They didn't get nothing out of it at all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've had men and women tell me this shit. Well, they had to go stop by the bar to get a drink before they went home because the person they lived with wanted to fuck tonight, and they didn't want to do it, so they had to get drunk. They had to have a couple of drinks or sniff some coke to get out of their mind, because they can't imagine being sober, laying up with this person. That's awful. That's a fucked up position to be in. I couldn't imagine laying up with somebody that I hate. But I know I had to lay up with them. I have to have sex with them only because I need some money, or I don't got no place else to go. This is the only place I have to lay my head. That's horrible. Whew. How does someone find themselves in a situation like that? God damn. Hey, that's horrible. Man. I've been in some situations, but I ain't never faked it in the sack. You know? And I never had nobody fake it with me in the sack either. I can kind of tell if someone's faking it in the. If someone was faking it in the sack with me, I would stop. You know, it's that's horrible. That's an awful thing for a woman to do to a guy. It's awful on both sides, but I think it's even worse if a woman is faking it with a guy. Because, see, that guy is never going to know that he has to do better. She's never going to tell him. It's never going to get better unless the woman tells him that it's not good. You whacking the sack, homeboy. That's awful. Ooh. But I digress. There's some you might not believe this, but I've traveled the world and I've met women from all different walks of life and from a lot of countries. I don't even know how many countries I visited, to be honest, at this point. I don't even know how many countries I visited. I didn't actually keep count. You know what I'm saying? I was having too much fun to keep count on how many places I visited over the past 25 years, I would say. But let me tell you something that I realized that it ain't pretty out here. That's the first thing I realized. It ain't pretty out here. It doesn't matter where I went. Regardless of the experience that I had, it's always another side to every place you go. There's a hood or ghetto everywhere. There's a, nice neighborhood everywhere. But there's always two sides to every place I've ever been. And I don't necessarily, I have my ideas why that is, but that's usually how it is. Whether it's an island, a city, a country, whatever. There's always two sides, at least two sides. It's not pretty out here. That's what I realized real fast too. And I realized the same thing. People are doing the same thing everywhere you go. They just go about it in a different manner. That's what I realized. And I'm at the time, I'm like what, 20 years old at the time. 20, 21 years old at the time, while I'm learning this and seeing this and experiencing this, at the time. And then I realized that a lot of women, some of you guys ain't gonna like this. A lot of women think that us black men are exotic. I realized that. A lot of women up from other countries, even South America, they think black men are sexy. Well, they think we're exotic. Like, I give you an example. The same way we look at a girl that's from, I don't know, let's say Colombia, Brazil, the Dominican Republic, a girl that's from Johannesburg, I don't know, pick any girl, even some of these women on the videos right here. You might look at them and you might say, oh, she's exotic, right? The way they look at us, that's how we look at some of these women that we see them as exotic. They look at us the same too. They look at us the same and some. Yeah, they think we're exotic. They think we're sexy. Some of y'all might be surprised with this because if you haven't left North America and been anywhere else, you would think that we're the less desirables and elsewhere. Even in North America, we're in demand, but doesn't seem like it though. It doesn't seem like it because of the media and all the shit that we go through. being in North America. You would think that as much as we get mistreated and disrespected in North America, you would think that there ain't no bitch like us. But if you've been around long enough, if you've been living long enough, you know that ain't true. You know, now here in North America, the reason why most women in North America they would like to date us. Don't get it twisted, but they can't, because the family might turn on them. The white woman might lose her white privilege. Those are the big ones. The family might turn on them. That's a big one. You know what I'm saying? Those are the real big ones. You know, even some women will never admit to being attracted to black men, because they are afraid of what their friends and family might say. You know, now what outside of North America, you know, the rules change a bit. The rules change. And I've learned the rules are different everywhere you go. But still the same in a lot of ways. You know, it's kind of weird. It's a weird dynamic that happens. You know, everywhere you go, there's certain things that's socially acceptable, and then there's some things that's standard. I'll give you an example. Let's say you go to I don't know, South America. You pick any country. The pretty much the less desirables, the less the people that's at the bottom of the totem pole are usually the darker people, the black people, right? In their country, right? But if I go to Brazil, Colombia, Dominican Republic, Bolivia, Mexico, Japan, China, any of these damn countries, they would look at me different. Even though I look very similar to some of the black people that are there in that country, it's a different dynamic that happens. It's kind of weird, in my opinion, you know, because somehow I would be elevated above or in a higher status than the black people that live in those countries. I think mainly because I'm Black American. That's where it starts. That's kind of where it starts from. And I'm different. I don't speak their native language. I sound different. I talk different. I dress different. You know, I might even look different, depending on this. Just depends on who I'm talking to in that country. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's usually how it go. It's a weird dynamic that happens. You have to go to another country and meet people, and you have to experience it. It's hard to describe what happens when you meet other men and women from these other countries. You know, you will have the same person. They might be dark and they might be black, darker than me. Black as night, right? They will shit on that person, but they won't shit on me. It's weird, you know. It's weird, man. And I've talked to a lot of people, a lot of these black people that's from these other countries, you know, and they get treated badly. They get treated. A lot of them are struggling. A lot of them don't get opportunities. They don't get jobs. They don't get hired. They can barely pay their bills. They don't make a lot of money, you know. And I've learned that us Black Americans, we're doing better than any of these other Black people in the world today. We're doing way better than. So you pick any country you want worldwide where the Black people at, we're doing way better than them as a group. It is what it is. You pick any country you want. I don't give a damn, from South America to Japan, China, Australia, Sudan, any country in any parts of Africa, continent of Africa. We're doing way better than them. You know, I'm telling you. I haven't been everywhere, but I've known people that have been to a lot of these places that I haven't been. You know, and see, in these other countries, they have a strong caste system too, boy. Oh man, they got that old slave caste system in a lot of these other countries. So this is usually how it goes. If you're a Black person in India, Brazil, Colombia, Japan, fuck, you name it. If you're a Black person in any of these countries, there's a good chance you're never going to break that poverty trap. It ain't happening. You can't even break through. That's how strong that caste system in these countries. They got that old slave caste system. You can't. This is why people say, hey, at least in America, there's a chance I can get rich or at least get out of poverty or do better. At least I have a chance if I come here, because they know where they came from. However they're born, whatever they're born in, that's what it's going to stay 9 times out of 10. Unless somebody come and save them or some shit like that. You know, I don't know, but that's usually how it go. In some of these countries, the Black people can't even get close to the lighter shade of people or the white people. It's wild, man. This is what I think the first year or two is when I learned this. You know, so I learned that we're like the most exotic group of men in the world. I'm not Black American men. And it kind of threw me off for a minute. It took me a couple of months to kind of deal with that. You know, because I'm coming from North America in the belly of the beast. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, women are pretty much throwing themselves at us. I wasn't used to it. I wasn't used to that at 21 years old. You know, it took me some time to get used to that. Now, here's the thing. Some people will say, well, they don't like y'all. That's lust. Well, some of it is lust. You know, some of it is lust. Then somebody might say, well, how do you tell if she really likes you then? Well, that's a good question. The only way to tell if a woman really likes you, it takes time. if a woman wants to get to know you, she's going to ask questions. She's going to stick around you. She's going to want to spend time with you. If it's just lust, she ain't trying to get to know you. It's just all about sex. Every time she see you, she wants to have sex. She ain't trying to get to know you. She don't care where you from. She just wants your body. That's how you know it's lust. And it doesn't last. Most of the time, it ain't going to last but so long. Maybe a couple weeks, couple months, you know, because 9 times out of 10, she'll move on and find somebody else that's better than you. If it's about lust, you know. Now, if she's trying to get to know you, asking questions, curious about you and your family, where you came from, how you grew up, what you want out of life. Now she's trying to get to know you. So that ain't lust. You know, that's a little bit more than lust. You know what I'm saying? You know, because a woman can still be highly attracted to you and want to have sex with you all the time and want to get to know you, you know. So it you know, it's hard to I would say it's very difficult for a woman to be into you and not want to have sex with you. That kind of comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? And there ain't nothing wrong with that, by the way. That's how it really supposed to be. See, here in America, a lot of these dudes are weird. A lot of these dudes be walking around acting like they don't like the woman. They'll try to hide that they don't want to, they'll act like they don't want to have sex with the woman that they like. They'll see a woman that they like and they'll be like, well, I don't want to sweat her. I don't want to tell her that I like her. That was some weird shit, man. Yeah, y'all need to get off that bullshit. That's some weird shit, man. For real. You shouldn't even have to be asking a woman for sex like that. If a woman is feeling you, all you gotta do is tell her to come over and say, hey, bring your clothes. You can stay the night if you want. Hey, that's usually that's how it's supposed to go. You know, you shouldn't be trying to negotiate or treat the woman like she's some prostitute. You know, I mean, first of all, if a woman is into you, she's not even coming to your house unless she thought about having sex with you. You know what I'm saying? If a woman don't want to come to your house, well, you already know what time it is. If you've been knowing her for a while, or if she won't let you come over her house, you already know what time it is. She ain't really into you like that. Or maybe you might be moving too fast. Either or. You know what I'm saying? But having sex with a woman, that pretty much come with the territory. If she's feeling you like that, and you shouldn't have to be pushy. It shouldn't be one of those things where you gotta you trying to figure out if she likes you and all that shit. That's, you know, that shouldn't even you shouldn't even have to think like that. You know, this is why I always say I fuck with those that fuck with me. So in other words, if a woman shows me interest, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably more likely going to be attracted to her anyway. That's the woman I'm going to reach out to, try to get to know, try to spend time with. You know, I'm not going to I'm not going to try to spend time around somebody that ain't really feeling me like that. You know, if you call her up, you say, hey, we need to We need to link up. We need to meet up. And she like, well, I don't know when that's gonna be. Cause she ain't feeling you like that. If a woman is feeling you like that, she want the shit to work out. She don't want to mess it up. She wants to get to know you and be around you and eventually have sex with you. That's how it goes. You know? And you might say, well, she having sex with somebody else. Maybe. She might be having sex with somebody else. But that ain't got nothing to do with you. Hell. Shit. You can't, only thing you can do is control you. And when you're around her, it's all about you and her. You shouldn't even think about the next man, or if she would, or the last guy she was talking to. You know, and these women overseas, they're the same. They operate the same. They still a woman. She might speak a different language. You know, but the game is the same. Everywhere I go, you know, it's the same old. Everywhere I go, I'm the same OG. You know, everywhere you go, there you are. I don't change who I am just because I go overseas or because I meet a woman that's from another country. It's the same shit. She's still a woman. She's from a different culture, yeah, but she's still a woman. She still get emotional. She still like to have fun. She still like to, you know, talk, laugh. She still like to have sex. He might not have sex a lot, as much as the women over here. But a woman is a woman. They still want a family, still want to get married, still want to have kids. Some, not all women, but majority, right? The women in America, it's starting to be weird over here, boy. Got women over here, and even in some other countries too. They saying they don't want to have kids. I'm like, what? Oh, I prefer. I want to get married, but I don't want to have kids with the husband. She preferred that he has kids already. What kind of weird shit is that? Why would I get married to a woman that don't want kids and she want me to have my own kids before we get married? If that's the case, why the hell do I need you for? I'd be better off getting with a bitch that do want kids, even if I have kids already. Now, the only purpose to get married is to have a family. That's it. There's no other reason why. The only and I'll up the ante on that. There's no reason you should be even living with a woman if the plan is if you plan on having kids with that woman, you shouldn't even be living with her. If that ain't the case, you don't necessarily got to get married to her, but if you plan on being with her long term, and for some reason she says, "Oh, I don't want to have kids. I ain't interested." Y'all shouldn't be living together. It just doesn't make logical sense. What are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we even together? Let that bitch go and be with some other guy. With that weird way of thinking. See, because a lot of women want marriage benefits, but they don't want to be a wife. They don't want to play the wife position. That's what that is. They want the benefits of being a wife, but they'll say, "Oh, I'm selfish. I want to be able to travel and get around." Well, that doesn't sound like a person that wants to be a wife. That sounds like a person that, they just want to play house, and when it's time to when it's time to travel, they don't have to really do much. All they gotta do is just grab the bag and put some clothes in the bag and leave. Because there's no kids there. So you don't have to pack no kids stuff. And you don't have to make no plans for the kids. So it's easy. And this is how a lot of these women think. So why the hell would I get involved with a woman like that? That doesn't make logical sense. Let that bitch go and be with somebody else that don't got no damn sense. You know what I'm saying? What the hell? Why the hell would I invest in a woman like that? That don't make no damn sense. But there's a lot of fools out here that would fall for that. They would get married to a woman that don't want no kids, and even he ain't got no kids. So it'll be just the two of them together until death, until one of them die. So it's like in 50 to 100 years after they die, nobody's going to be talking about them. And it won't be no proof that they ever were here. Because none of them ever have no kids. What type of selfish bullshit is that? So this type of shit happens. I hear this type of shit everywhere. Happens overseas, happens in North America, But if you don't know no better, you fall for this bullshit. A lot of guys, their dad wasn't really around like that, or maybe their dad wasn't around at all. Maybe your mom was a side pussy or a hoe growing up, and he had his family on the other side of town, and your mom was a side chick, and that's something a lot of guys don't want to deal with. They don't want to call their mom a hoe. They don't want to think of their mom as being a hoe, but it is what it is. Shit, So a lot of guys don't have, they never had good role models growing up. So they see things through their mama's lens, through their mama's eyes. And when a guy like me talks the way I talk, they're like, "Oh, that sounds harsh. That's too much." They sound like a woman. See, women, I expect a woman to say something like that. That sounds harsh. I expect her to say something like that because she's a woman. I don't expect a woman to be cold-hearted and shit. Unless she's masculine, unless she had bad role models growing up. Otherwise, I expect a woman to say what I'm saying is harsh. And I expect most women to disagree with what I'm saying. And it makes sense if you really think about it. Because women are, they like to be nice. They don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. You know how it is. I expect that. That makes perfect sense to me. That's what the man's for. The man's position is to do the dirty work and let the woman sit and chill. The woman is not supposed to be throwing them things like that. I mean, some women can, but they really ain't built for that shit. That is, some women can throw them things. They train them, fighting and whatever, but they're not really supposed to be doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? They're not really built for that. That's the man's job. You know, that's the man's job. That's you got to play your position. The woman is supposed to play her position, and the man is supposed to play his position. That's how it's supposed to go. But somehow the roles have switched today, you know, and that's fine. For some guys, that's fine. But for me, hell no. No, I wasn't raised that way. Any women that I'm around, she's gonna act like a woman. You know, if she's acting like a man, well, this shit ain't gonna work. We're not gonna get along. We're gonna bump heads real quick. So I know how I am. So I just I fall back. I get away from women that women that want to be a man and are too masculine. I get away from them because I know how I am. You know, I'm not the type of person that's gonna tolerate disrespect without saying something about it. I can't do that. That's not me. I'm not good at faking either. I'm not good at perpetrating like shit don't bother me. I got a big mouth. I can't do it. It's somewhere it's something in my spirit won't allow me to get mistreated and disrespected and not say anything about it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Even on the job, I couldn't do it. Even on the job, I couldn't do it. That's why most of them jobs I didn't keep very long. I didn't keep most of them jobs very long. About 2 to 5 years, I got like a 2 to 5 year window. And after that, it's going to be time for me to go. After the 2 years, it's time for me to move on. Because by that time, you got new management that usually come in. And we ain't going to, so they're looking to hire new people and all that shit. So we ain't going to really get along. And it's only a matter of time before we bump heads and I'll say something they don't like or do something they don't like. And then it's downhill from there. That's usually how it is. No. So everywhere I go, I gotta be game tight. Whether it's on the job, whether it's out in these streets, whether it's overseas, I don't care what country it is. I got to be game tight. And P.S. by the way, when I say game, I'm not talking about running scams or taking advantage of people and all this crazy non bullshit. I'm not talking about any no criminal activity either. Game is doing some shit that in order to get things done that you want. That's all game is. This ain't no pimp shit, whole shit, scamming. See, a lot of people have taken the word game and kind of prostituted it. They make it seem like it's all about tricking people and manipulating people. No, that's not what I'm talking about. No, game is just a way of getting things done. It's like swimming in the water without getting eaten by the sharks. It's just a list of protocols, a way of manipulating the system in order to get what you want out of it without stabbing anybody in the back or having to sacrifice anybody. And sacrificing yourself as well. That's all I'm talking about. Well, I ain't talking about scamming or ripping nobody off. No, I'm socially speaking here. This ain't no damn, this ain't about scamming nobody or ripping nobody off and, putting shit in somebody's drinks. No. I don't co-sign any of that shit. But you have a lot of people online. A lot of these guys are nerds. They'll say if you see anything related to the game, they'll try to shit on you. They'll try to make it seem like, oh, you don't need that shit. You go overseas, man, you don't need that shit. Only in America you need game. But overseas you don't. Bullshit. What world are you living in? You're delusional. And you got a lot of these nerds, these nerdy dudes talk like that, And a lot of these guys are tricks that talk like that as well, because they look at it like, oh, I'll just pay to do what I want. Oh, I'll just pay to get out of the situation, But if you're gonna pay, cool. But money only go but so far. You know what I'm saying? And if a woman look at you as women don't respect tricks. So if you start paying a woman to do shit for sex and all that other bullshit, well, she ain't gonna ever respect you in the first place. She's never gonna respect you. So that's on you if you want to go that route. But I choose not to go that route because nobody ever told me I had to do that. Nobody ever told me I had to trick off. So I don't even roll like that. I don't even get down like that. But you got a lot of these nerdy dudes online. Some of them are professionals and some of them are just, I don't know, I guess just dusty dudes or they're just saying shit to get clicks or whatever the case may be. But it's not practical. See, I'm out in the real world. I'm out and about. I travel all across America and around the world. So I meet people in real life. A lot of these people that you see online, I've met them in person. And a lot of them are not who you think they are. A lot of times, these people are just perpetrating fraud online. They have a persona that they've built online. But when you meet them in person, they're very standoffish, antisocial. They don't even act the way they do, the way you see them online. So just pay attention to who you listen to online. I mean, hey, if you want to be entertained by a lot of these guys and gals, great. But, this if you want some education from a lot of these guys and gals, I don't, you gotta watch who you listen to. Because a lot of these guys and gals are not really who you think they are. And a lot of them are just saying shit just to get clicks. And they saying things, they try to say the most outrageous things. And a lot of it don't even make sense. If you was to go and research, or maybe you might go to the place that they probably was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Once you start traveling and doing your own research and studying, you be like, oh, he's full of shit. Oh, this bitch ain't really about nothing. She's just talking. She's just she's a dick rider. And a lot of guys are dick riders too, by the way. So, hey, that's all I got. Like, share this episode. If you want to come on, man, you can come on real quick. Otherwise, I'm gonna get up off here, man. I didn't plan on being on here very long tonight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put the link in here real quick. And if anything you want to ask, hey, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about it real quick. Otherwise, I'm gonna get up off here. The fact I experienced this in so you've been to Peru? Yeah, I've never been to Peru. I've heard Peru's okay. You know. I haven't been furthest I've been south is Mexico. And that's not even south. That's more like central or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I heard a lot of things about Peru. I've heard mixed feelings about mixed reviews about Guatemala, and I heard a lot of good things about Colombia, Brazil, Bolivia, and some of those islands down there. I heard a lot of good things. I heard mixed views about Guatemala though. You know, I don't know why that is, but yeah, but hey, that's all I got, man. Like, share this episode. Don't forget to check out the Patreon. Until next time. Oh, and P.S. and by the way, I have a new almost forgot. I have a new channel where it's like it's all about clips of people I interview and along with a lot of other stuff. I just started. So subscribe to my new channel. I put the link in the show notes in the chat. The link is in the chat to my new channel. Yeah, it's Love Can't Wait Clips, basically. And I also have it in the community section as well. So subscribe to my new channel over there. And until next time, man. I'm out. Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the sky and that I like. Here from